What's up guys, MegaDPAL here, and I'm bringing another Pokemon X and Pokemon Y Wi-Fi battle for you guys. So today I'm against Kashif, aka Sucker4Jessica. If you guys haven't checked out his channel yet, be sure to. His channel link is down in the description bar below, so definitely go check him out after this battle. He uploads a lot of nice original content, which I enjoy. I enjoy his commentaries a whole lot, so you guys will too. So alright, let's get straight onto the battle, shall we? Looking at the team preview, I'm running this team. This team I've been using quite a lot recently. It's pretty decent, but the only thing wrong with it is I'm not actually running a defogger or a rapid spinner. I'm looking at Kashif's side, he's in fact running a Smeargle. This obviously makes this battle a whole lot more harder for me, but at the same time, I don't see Smeargle too much, but recently, that has all changed. It's become super common, so this is a little disappointing, but at the same time, there's not much I can do. The only reason why I don't run a defogger and or a rapid spinner on this team is because the sticky web only really affects my Azumarill, my Heatran and my Garchomp. And I do have the T-Wave to try and even up the speed tiers, but either way, let's just get straight into the battle, shall we? So, because he has that Smeargle, I need to play around it really nicely and obviously not let it set up too much to where I'm pretty much going to lose straight away. So I'm actually going to lead out with my Thunderous. He actually leads out with his Latios. So, what I should have actually done is this Latios is a huge threat to my team. I should have actually just gone straight for that T-Wave, turn 1. Lived the Draco, gone for the Volt Switch as he switches on out, being at -2, or if he does in fact stay and go into my Heatran Sponge the next hit. But what I'm actually going to do is just play it safe, just go straight into my Heatran turn 1, and just kind of scout out what this thing was, because I didn't want to potentially lose my Thunderous this early on to being Specs damage. But it actually reveals it's a Life Orb, which is nice for me I guess, but at the same time it's going to be a little bit hard because I cannot lock him into one move and play around it that way, so he's actually going to switch now, as I'm pretty sure I'm going to go for that Toxic. He switches into a Smeargle. This is a real nice switch for him, as he's going to be able to start to settle these hazards now, predicting either my Rocks or my Toxic on my Heatran. So what I should have probably done was gone straight for Lava Plume. Would have been a solid 2-hit KO. That way he could only put me to sleep and or set up his Stealth Rocks or Sticky Web, depending on which one I chose. So unfortunately that's not going to be the case. So what I'm actually going to do is just going to go for the Lava Plume. Kind of leaving my Heatran in his Sleep Fodder, hoping he's going to go for that Spore. Even though my Heatran is a whole huge threat even to his team, I do wall a whole lot of his Pokemon is what I'm trying to say. The likes of his Aegis/, Magnezone, even his Latios to a degree. So I do just go for that Lava Plume as he actually sets up his Rocks. Now here I'm actually going to go for the Protect. It may seem like an odd move, but I was predicting him, well not predicting, but if he did want to go for Spore, then that way he would die to the Toxic damage the turn after. But if he does go for Sticky Web, he's going to die to Toxic damage after. So either way is the safest play for me, and he actually does in fact decide to set up that Sticky Web, which is real annoying because like I was mentioning in the team preview, it's going to make the game a whole lot more harder for me. But at the same time that's fine. A challenge is what I've actually been looking for recently. Some of my Wi-Fi battles haven't been the most difficult, but this one definitely is going to be a challenge now. So in comes the Tarak. So what I'm actually going to do, and I'm just going to make the safe switch, go out into my Landorus, because I can obviously sponge a hit. Maybe use this time to go for my Rocks and or U-turn to keep the momentum. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, is go out into my Landorus, get off to Intimidate, kind of scout out, try and find out if this thing is Choice Banded, Scarf or whatever. Looking at his damage, I wasn't thinking that was in fact banded damage, even at -1. I thought I was still a little bit weak, just because I'm not fully invested in defense. But either way, I do take it nicely, so I'm leading to believe potentially it could be Scarf. But who knows. So what I'm going to do is, I was debating whether to go for the U-turn, predicting the Latios switch, or actually just set on my Rocks. I actually decided to go for the Rocks, the safe play. I thought it would be more beneficial for me in the long run. Looking back on it, I probably could have kept the momentum, just gone straight for that U-turn. But then again, I don't have too much I want to switch on into this thing. I could go back into my Heatran, maybe try and catch his Terrakin on a switch, or with a Lava Plume burn, or maybe a Toxic. But either way, I thought the Stealth Rocks would be the better play at the time, so I'm just going to switch now, go out into my Azumarill, predicting him to go for the Surf, predicting my Heatran switch, because I did show that was my initial switch into this Latios. So that's exactly what I'm doing, is switch into my Azumarill. But actually, I think he predicts this nicely, he goes straight for that Side Shot. And this does a whole lot of damage to my Azumarill, which is pretty annoying. This is leading me to believe he's not actually running the Surf, but at the same time I don't have 100% confirmation on that. He's only revealed 2 of his moves, so what he's actually going to do is make the switch into his Magnezone. I guess potentially predicting the Heatran switch. That may sound weird, but this thing could potentially be Scarf. He's probably predicting the switching out into anything. That way he can Volt switching out of there, Flash Cannon, whatever he likes to do, and go into the Pro Pick check or counter from there. But I'd just go for a play rough, do a solid 50% to this thing. Now I'm going to switch into my Heatran because I know there's not too much a Magnezone can actually do to my Heatran. So he's actually going to go for the Flash Cannon here. I guess on the off chance I switched into my Garchomp, predicting the Volt Switch. So this way definitely tells me that this thing is in fact choiced in some way, being Specs or maybe even Scarf, just because I don't want to lock himself in the Volt Switch and allow my Garchomp potential free chance to set up. So that's good information to know. So in comes his Magmortar now, which I'm actually going to predict and just go straight for that Toxic, knowing that I can just get a Toxic off into thing, get some nice residual damage, and there's not too much else I can actually do to this Magmortar. So I do catch this on the Switch, which is nice. What I'm actually going to do is, I wasn't sure, I know that Magmortar runs the Focus Blast, but at the same time I'm not too sure what kind of set he's running. If he's just going to go play it safe, just go straight for that Focus Blast. So I'm just going to maybe just go for that Protect. Tried to get a bit of lefties and toxic damage racking up on this thing, but it actually goes for Focus Energy, and this definitely caught me by surprise. I've not battled too many Magmortars. In fact, I've not battled any 6th gen. So seeing this Focus Energy kind of threw me off guard, but at the same time, I know he's going to go for that Focus Blast. So I'm going to be forced here now to sack my Azumarill. Even though my Azumarill is a decent threat to his team, I obviously do check the Magmortar, Terrakion, and I can obviously revenge kill his Magnezone at the range of HP it's at. So it's pretty unfortunate I have to sack my Azumarill, but at the same time I had absolutely nothing else that wanted to take that Focus Blast from this Magmortar. So the best thing was to Death Fire off my Azumarill. So this gives me a free switch into anything else. I'm actually going to go out to my Thundurus now, I do believe. I can't go into my Chomp because I will get the -1 speed. So I can only really go out into my Thundurus, just go for that Volt Switch. It's because he has nothing that obviously wants to take it. If he does switch, I get the Switch Initiative. But he's just going to play it, make the smart move even, just sack off his Magmortar. Did its job, it took out a poke, got rid of a threat. So what I'm actually going to do is go out into my Heatran now. And here's where things get a little bit interesting. And at the same time, in fact you guys will find out. So yeah, I'm bringing my Heatran to bait in the Terrakion switch. It's obviously the only thing it can obviously switch in. And this way I have obviously revealed the Protect. I can potentially scout and see what he quote unquote locks himself into and go into the appropriate checkle counter from there. So in comes the Terrak. I'm just going to go for that Protect like I did mention. But as you guys are going to see, it doesn't in fact quote unquote lock himself into the close combat. It goes to Stone Edge. So here I'm like, okay, if he was potentially predicting a switch into my Landorus, he would have doubled on out into his Latios. But it was in the back of my head that this thing potentially wasn't choice. And it took me absolutely forever to make a move. I was so debating whether to go into the Heatran or the Landorus. I made the risky play, predicting to be choice, and it turns out that is the worst play by me. Is he isn't in fact choice. I'm guessing his Expert Belt or something, and he's going to wipe out my my Heatran, and that is really bad for me just because it's a huge threat to his team. It walls a whole lot of his guys, so that's really bad for me. And now what I'm actually going to do is predict him to switch on out of there. So I'm over predicting here. I'm really paranoid about that Latios now. I needed my Heatran for that Latios, so I'll go for the U-turn, trying to catch that thing on the switch. He's actually going to stay and go for the Stone Edge. This is extremely unfortunate because now I just took a whole chunk of damage from that Stone Edge, and my Garchomp's also going to be forced to take close combat from this thing. So this isn't good by me, but at the same time I'm being forced to play risky now. The Sticky Web and rocks are up. I have no Wrath Spinner. My Heatran's down. I'm not in a good position whatsoever, but at the time when my Heatran went down, I knew I'd lost. Well, I thought I'd lost. Pretty much mentally conceded the game. But I'm going to obviously still try and win. So he's going to go for that close combat like I did say. Doesn't do too much, but at the same time, damage is damage. And I'm going to be able to retaliate back with the Earthquake. Finally taking out this threat. Which, if I'd have just gone for the EQ with my my Landorus, that could have all been avoided. But like I said, I was super paranoid about that Latios. I have nothing to switch into it. So he could have easily sponged the EQ. Obviously with the Levitate and come in and retaliate back with a Draco. So that's exactly what he's actually going to do this turn. Again, I'm making real bad play here. Well, at the same time, let me explain. I actually decided to sack my Rotom, expecting just because I know that my Rotom's not going to do too much for me. I thought, what I'm trying to say is, I sacked my Rotom just because I do have the Thundurus with the T-Wave. I know if I can get a T-Wave on this Latios, then I can obviously cripple this thing. And I need my Landorus in order, because I do have the U-turn in order to actually take out this Latios. So like I was saying, I was super paranoid about this Latios, that it's actually going to cost me, as you will see, because I needed to keep my Landorus as opposed to my my Rotom, just so once I get the T-Wave off, which is what I'm going to do now, I do have the U-turn to take this thing out. So what he's actually going to do is just go straight for that Side Shock on my Thundurus. I do actually live, which is nice, but at the same time, I did manage to get the T-Wave off on the Latios. So this thing isn't too much of a problem, and I am carrying the HP Ice. So what I'm going to do is just go straight for that now, just go straight for that Hidden Power, and take out the Latios. But except I don't take out, it lives, and he's just going to go for that Draco, which is a little unfortunate, but at the same time, it's not going to matter too much in the long run, as you will see, because down goes my Thundurus now, and his Latios, of course, will go down to the Life Orb recoil, so that's nice for him. I'm down to my last two, and he's down to his last two, but it does in fact have the Magnezone, which is in fact Scarf, as you guys will see, and my last two are Landorus and my Garchomp. So the reason why second Rotom was a bad play is I needed to keep it around for this Landorus, but I was for this Magnezone, but I was hoping it was in fact running the HP Fire over the HP Ice, just for, you know, the obvious like Ferrothorn, Skarmory, well not necessarily Skarmory because there was a Volt Switch, but for the likes of Ferrothorn and Fortress, you guys know, but no, he's in fact running the HP Ice, and that is going to take out my Landorus and of course my Garchomp. So what I needed to do was actually keep my Rotom around, but like I said, at the same time, I was super paranoid after losing my Heatran that Latios was just going to shit on my team. So yeah, it wasn't the best play by me. The Rotom play was probably worse than the Heatran play, but either way, it wasn't the greatest game by me, and it's going to be a close 2-0 for him. So GG Kashif, hope you guys enjoyed. It was still a pretty fun battle, and I'm probably going to have to change this team up a bit, get a bit of a Defogger and or Rapid Spin on this team, but either way, it's still a whole lot of fun. So thank you guys for watching, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.